Hello and welcome to our show. My name is Janara Iman. I'm a clinical nutritionist and a master herbalist, and this is Chronic Ailments and Scientific Nutrition. Today we're going to be talking and focusing on natural solutions based on lab analysis and science-based medical testing for the treatment of chronic ailments. And each time we do a show, we're going to focus on a different topic. Today we're focusing on weight loss resistance, diabetes, and prevention. What you can do to prevent this epidemic. It's now a global epidemic, and we're going to talk about nutritional overview and cellular health regarding this and give you some stats to start with. Like I said, it's a massive epidemic, and if you look at the numbers in the US alone, 26 million people are diagnosed with diabetes. That's 8.3%. Age 65 and older are 27% of the population. 80 million are diagnosed with prediabetes. 1.3 of children who are born in the year of 2000 will develop diabetes in their lifetime. This is pretty sad, and 1/2 of them are African American children. And this is estimated to be the first generation of children that will not outlive their parents. This is what we really call an epidemic, and what can we do about it? Diabetes has doubled since 1980 and is expected to double again by the year 2030. And these stats are from the American Diabetes Association. So we've got a problem. What can we do? One of the things you can do is start by asking good questions. There are some things that your MD may not have told you about diabetes. One of them is that with nutritional medicine and lifestyle changes, you can reverse your weight loss resistance and your type 2 diabetes by eliminating the cause and fixing the cells. We're talking about some lifetime changes that are really going to benefit you. So, diabetes has a 100% cure rate through natural methods. Even the most conservative sources say that 85% of type 2 diabetes is curable if lifestyle is changed. Simple solution: remove the cause, fix your cells, and when you remove the cause, the body heals itself. So, focusing on weight loss resistance as an early warning sign of diabetes, there's some things that we can do, but there's first things we need to know. Your lab work, which we're going to talk about in a minute, can tell us if you are no longer a fat burner. That's really important. That means you're a sugar burner, and we're the sugar burner generation that crave carbs. Your lab work can also tell us if you have a hormone problem, or you're leptin or insulin sensitive. This is another problem that contributes to these uncontrollable cravings. Your lab work can also tell us if you have a toxicity problem. Toxins disrupt hormones, and this is another problem. These are all easily fixed with natural health. So, why comprehensive lab analysis? This is very important. This is an example of some of the lab work that we do. We do comprehensive blood, hair, and urine, and that makes up you. We're all individually different. We're cut out of a different mold, even though we all look the same. We all look like humans, but we've all got two parents with a little different set of epigenetics, and that tweaks things a little bit. So we want lab work. We don't want to guess. And so this method of lab work, there's 52 different tests here, just on the blood. And when we get the results back, what we're seeing is a range of yellow, red, and blue. And that tells us where you are and where your health markers are. So if you see all white, you're doing really well. Yellows are warning sign, like the traffic lights, warning. Reds are, maybe we stop and look at this, because this is an issue that we need to address right now. And code blue is priority. That is, let's take care of this. This is an issue that is affecting your health. So how does that work? This diagram shows what normal lab ranges tell you from your usual medical prescriber. We want to always be in the healthy lab range, but most of the time we're in these functional high and low ranges. And these are considered normal in this day and age because the averages are based on sick people. Most sick people, or people who don't feel good, are the ones that go to the doctor and get tested. So here's where we get our averages. And if you fall into one of these ranges, your physician or practitioner is going to tell you, well, everything looks good, and you're still not feeling good, and you're wondering why. So it isn't until you get into these abnormally low and high areas where you're finally getting some attention from the medical profession, and then what do they turn to? Usually medication. So to complete your picture, we also do hair analysis. Why? Because the body eliminates toxicity or anything through the hair follicle because it's a means of getting rid of it. It's like, you know, how you eliminate through your intestines or how you urinate out toxins. It also comes out through the hair follicle because there's blood attached to each one. And so a good way to see what kind of chemicals and toxins are in your body is through hair analysis. And so up here on the test will be all the toxic ones. And you want to see the toxic ones over here to the left in this range. So this person's not doing too bad. Down here are all the minerals, all the things that are good and healthy for your body that we need, and we want to see those in the mid-range. We don't want to see them too low or too high. And so the hair analysis can tell us whether we have toxins, and that's a very good part of the picture that makes up you. Urine is also part of that, but this demonstrates here how the veins in the arteries are connected to the hair follicle, and you can see how it's released. And that's the reason why you can find trace amounts of chemicals in the hair follicle, and that tells us what we need to give you nutritionally and what we need to change maybe in your lifestyle. Maybe you need to eliminate certain toxins out of your house or your environment as well. So all of this is a contributory factor. So this is a very good way to figure that out. Toxins disrupt hormones. And we're talking about hormones. When we're talking about diabetes, we're talking about insulin. We're talking about glucagon. We're talking about a balance in there. And we're talking about leptin from the hypothalamus that regulates our appetite. So when we have toxins and we have failure on the cellular level, then we have disrupted hormones, and then we begin the disease process. So here's a picture of the pancreas, and it's a very important organ in our body. The pancreas is both a digestive organ and it's a hormone-producing organ. So the alpha cells of the pancreas produce glucagon, which raises the blood sugar. That's the opposite of insulin. And another effect of glucagon is gluconeogenesis. I never say that right, so sorry if I said it wrong. This is the formation of new glucose from the stimulation of liver functions that result in the increased use of amino acids by the body. This is a good thing. These amino acids are from protein, and then they're converted into glucose for fuel. That gives a nice steady burn. So we have fuel that's coming into the blood in a nice steady level so that we don't have an overproduction of insulin. But the beta cells of the pancreas come to the rescue for that. So they're the ones that produce the insulin to control the blood sugar in the body. But insulin is also important because it is the thing that drives nutrition into the cell. So we got to have these things, but we got to have them in balance. We have become a nation of over-insulin producing people. And so let's start with a healthy weight management. And here's the crux of it. Why can't I lose weight? Well, it might not be your fault. It might be your hormones' fault because of all the things we just talked about. And what did I say? Toxic hormones, you know, they disrupt the cellular function, the receptor sites. So if you've tried everything and the pounds just keep coming back, what do? Toxicity is often the reason that people cannot lose weight, and it's affecting their hormones and it's affecting their health. Why? Because toxins are attracted to your fat cells. And if you've got toxins in your body's going to hang on to those fat cells. And if it still needs fuel, what's it going to do? It's going to burn your muscle. that's when the problem begins. That's how we become sugar burners instead of fat burners, because the body can very easily convert muscle, just like it can protein, into sugar. So to understand weight loss in the 21st century with our environment, our toxic overload, and the stress that we have in our life, it's important to understand the toxicity and the hormones at the cellular level. So lose the toxins, fix the cells, and become a fat burner again. Yay, we have a smiley face. So how do we fix the hormones? Well, your blood work and your comprehensive lab analysis will give us a lot of information on how to do that. One of the things you can do right off the bat is the thing that we've heard you say over and over that you're going to do, and that is stop eating so much sugar. Well, if you remove the sugar and everything that turns to sugar, you will begin your healing process. Then you can begin to add these things back in, but it's important to do that first. Also, don't overeat protein. There's a lot of fad diets out there. Eat as much protein as you want, lose weight. Protein is very easily converted to sugar when the body isn't getting other sugar. So too much sugar will also, too much protein will also turn to sugar. So around 15 grams per meal. Increase the healthy fats and the fiber foods. That's key. Healthy fats and fiber. Your body cannot function without fat. And so that's the reason why, and we're going to talk about it in a little while, calories don't count in the way that we're taught. We engage in true cellular detox. Okay, so we're going to find out how to do that. But first, here we go. We have to break our love affair, the fatal attraction. Sugar producing carbohydrates that turn to sugar very, very quickly. So they're very high on what we call the glycemic scale. And wheat products and sugar do this very quickly. And then we also have all the other little goodies. So when you go to the movies, and you sit there and you're sitting in your chair and you're mindlessly eating these things, your sugar and your trans fats are going to town on you. Okay, so we want to prevent that. At least we want to limit that while we're trying to heal the body. So let's go through some weight loss myth busters here. Why don't we lose weight? Like I said, it is a hormone problem and it is a toxin problem. But what do we do about that? Well, knowledge is one thing. Myth number one, okay, the way we get fat is to take in more calories than we burn. Okay, If this were true, losing weight would be as easy as grade school math. Calorie-restricted diets fail every time. It is what we eat that count. When we're eating calorie-restricted diets, usually we're burning muscle instead of fat, and we're starving our cells. Those little cells, each of the billions of cells in your body are made, they have a little wall around them, and it's made of fat. And it's very important to keep that cellular wall very healthy. If it's brittle and dry and nutrition can't get in to the cell to make ATP, cellular energy, and it can't get toxins out, what happens? You crave more sugar, because sugar is the thing that creates insulin, and insulin is what drives energy into the cell. So it's not your fault. It's your inability to absorb nutrition that is making you have this uncontrollable craving for sugar and carbs. But we can fix that. And so often the body loses muscle, and more muscle than fat, and also resets its set point. So I hear people come into my office all the time that say, Janara, I go to the gym every day, I eat healthy, I watch my sugar intake, and I can't lose weight. And I say, how many calories are you eating? Well, 9 times out of 10, I'm eating 3 times at least more than they are. And they're gaining weight, and I'm not. So what is that? So what can we do? It's really an easy fix. It's not as difficult as it sounds. It just seems like it. But on a calorie-restricted diet, women often lose 10 to 15 pounds in the beginning, men 15 to 20 pounds, and then exercise helps keep some of that muscle on, which is really important, and that's because we don't want to burn it and lose it. But Here is weight loss myth buster number 2. The more we exercise, the more we lose. Okay, so why doesn't that work? Why can't you go to the gym every day, work out an hour, go run, and you're still not losing weight? It's because calories in don't equal calories out, like we just talked about. But exercise is important. So calories in versus calories out don't equal long-term weight. However, do exercise for a healthy heart. Do exercise for a good fat-burning metabolism and more energy. Do exercise for good muscle tone. The more muscle you have, the more fat you're able to burn. And it's important for glucagon secretion, for accessing fat as fuel. So exercise to feel good. Weight loss myth buster number 3. Okay, fat makes you fat. This is the biggest myth and the biggest fallacy that we're fed all the time, the low-fat diets. We just talked about all that. The truth is, it's the kind of fat you eat that makes you fat, and those are your hydrogenated vegetable oils, your trans fatty acids, rancid fats. Too much of the wrong kind of fat mixed with sugars equals fat, okay? But not all fats are created equal. Eating good fats equals good weight loss. And what were we talking about? The cell. This is all about hormones and fixing the cell, okay? So what makes you go? What gives you energy? It's burning good fats for fuel. And here's something that most people don't know. Your body can only use 2 things for energy, okay? Number 1, it's sugar. But look at over here, I put healthy sugars. I put fruits and vegetables are healthy sugars. Okay, and fat. Good sources of fat, avocados, nuts, olive oils, fats made by God, not by man, okay? So healthy people have the ability to use both sugar and fat, okay? That's how we were born. We need both, and we were born to be able to do that. But what have we done? We've changed our apostats, and how most Americans now can only use sugar when we get into this weight-resistant place, which leads to diabetes. This involves a hormone called leptin. Leptin's made in the hypothalamus, and it regulates the apostat, okay? And mostly everybody knows that's the ability of your body to say, okay, I've had enough. Well, when this deregulation happens, we don't know anymore, and we get that craving. But then we're also trying to get nutrition into the cell, like we were talking about before. So we're dying for more insulin to do that. Okay, but eating good fats equals weight loss, okay? Because good fats reprogram the genetic code in your body that your epigenetics, okay? And I'm not making this up. These are clinical studies. You can call my office and I'll give you all the stats. Studies show that omega-3 fatty acids have the ability to increase thermogenesis. That's fat burning for energy. Omega-3 fatty acids decrease the amount of fat that you store for energy. Now, here's another thing, and the reason why we're eating and needing so much fish oils now is because our meats and our proteins are not the same as they used to be in our grandmother's generation or grandfathers, because we feed our animals grain now. So it used to be that meats had beef. Beef used to have a 2-to-1 ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. Well, folks, it's now 20-to-1. So that grain is making that cow fat, and that cow is making you fat, and then that is why now a lot of statistics are showing us that by eating meat, we're also increasing our weight loss resistance. So new studies show that we achieve this through gene expression. Fat helps switch on genes that are involved in fatty acid oxidation, which switches off those involved in fat storage. Very important. So simple steps. Remove the bad fats, the sugars, refined carbs, and the toxins, and eliminate grains until your healthy weight has returned. Okay, use beans, nuts, and seeds for carbohydrates, and avoid all man-made foods and chemicals. Increase your healthy fats and oils, fruits and vegetables, fiber, and healthy proteins. Focus on the God-made foods. Okay. Here's your remedy for health. It looks really good, right? That's what we always are told, eat your vegetables. Okay, but start by fixing the cells. Okay, we have your lab work now. We know exactly what the picture of you looks like. We're going to eliminate toxins. We're going to give you the nutrition so that your body can heal itself, so it can do it. And it's going to get you naturally off the medications and into good health. Okay, so get your lab results and your recommendations, and then we start fixing your body at the cellular level. That's east meets west, okay? So we have this beautiful body. Look at that beautiful digestive factory of how to feed and heal, okay? We start at the cellular level, and how does it work? It works by absorbing nutrients and eliminating toxins, and that's what this is all about. So, nature's cures. Your individual comprehensive lab testing can tell you where to start your healing. This gives us the yardstick of where to go. We're not guessing. We're not saying, okay, go to the health food store and buy this for that. We're actually basing your protocols on your individual tests, okay? So we start the healing, we end the disease process. Okay, so I'm Janara. This is my office at 712 D Street in the medical building. And let's keep nutrition simple. Let's get back to the basics. The advantage of comprehensive lab testing, results are based on thousands and thousands of, at this point, results of healthy people. This is what we want to know. We want to know where you stand from a healthy perspective. We want to know what your markers are, what we need to look at, and how we can give you the nutrients and the dietary support that you need for your own personal healing, okay? So the results of nutritional recommendations are the protocols that are customized for you based on your own individual results. You're a biochemical individual. So nothing is missed. There's no guessing. We're not sending you to the health food store and say, buy 4 things and let's hope it works. We're going on absolutely confident measures of testing what your body is telling us and how to do that. Okay, so my name is Janara Iman, and I would love to talk to you more about this. We're located at 712 D Street in the medical building, Suite G in San Rafael. And this has been my pleasure to talk to you today. If you want more information, my phone number is 415-847-5502. If you want to know how to start your healing process, I'd be very happy to tell you. And at this point, I'd like to give special thanks to the crew of this show and CMCM, the Community Media Center of Marin, for the use of these facilities so we can bring you these shows. This show will air on Saturdays, and every week we'll have a new show with a new chronic ailment and how we can show you the natural ways to begin your healing process based on your own individual makeup with your comprehensive lab testing. Thank you very much. Be in good health.